right, welcome back to the ICEcast, everybody, and we are back with my buddy Josh. What's going on, man?
What up?
And my camera's like blinking at me. Did you see that? That was weird.
Yep.
All right. It's like I'm getting pictures taken by the paparazzi. I'm special.
Yep.
We got a couple cool things I want to talk about. Little thing we did also, but first I want to talk about something fairly serious that a lot of people want to talk about, but obviously you're not hearing in the news. That's Cannon Hinnant. It's the 5-year-old that was shot in front of his house by a black man, and a lot of people are more upset at the fact, saying if the roles were reversed, you'd hear it all over the news, and it would be. Unfortunately, I don't think you still would, because for some reason, I mean, you had how many black children die in Chicago just a couple months ago? That wasn't on the news.
Nope.
It's just children, for some reason, don't get the mainstream news that they should. I mean, look at this, the whole pedophile ring and all this stuff that goes on every day, and it's just not pushed enough. For some reason, that's not news. But it was freaking tragic. It happened. We're recording this on Sunday the 16th. It happened a week ago. And that's probably one of the worst things about recording a weekly podcast is sometimes you're a week behind on news. But it just sucks. I don't know what I would do if I was just out front with my daughter and that just happened, especially with somebody that I freaking shared my house with for dinner.
Yeah, I actually just heard about it today. I was scrolling through YouTube, and Tyrone had a reaction to it, and I was like, I didn't know what it was, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, okay.
So you just heard about it today, a week after it happened.
Yep.
Through a YouTube video. Mm-hmm. That's pretty sad, right?
Yeah, and every day, my typical intake for news is Yahoo, every single day, and right. I never saw it. And I scroll pretty far down to get to some obscure shit. Nothing came up.
It's ridiculous. I know I want to say yesterday when I was scrolling through, I use Google News. I just started seeing like little snippets saying, I hope this young man rests in peace and stuff. I'm like, this should have been reported that day.
Yep.
This is stuff that like needs to be talked about because that's just pure evil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't want to talk my way into a corner dealing with other topics that it could bring up, but this is a lot more important than what everybody else seems to think is important with these protests and everything else. And that's our kids, it's our future, and the way that things are handled, and the media just sucks. And one of the YouTube channels I really like, the Conservative Twins, which are the Hodge twins, they get a lot of trash because they're twin black men that are Republicans, so they get trash talk all the time. But they say it the best when it's like, don't trust CNN, don't trust Fox, watch the news and make your own opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then look things up. The news is absolutely the worst thing going on right now in the country. And then on top of that, this is kind of related, but at the same time not. You heard that Trump's brother died, right?
Yes.
And there's this hashtag going around, wrong Trump. That's fucked up.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't care if you like him or not. That's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but I'm not going to wish death on anybody.
Right. So this man just lost his brother. He's dealing with more stress than you probably even realize. And like you're going to say, I'm sure that a hashtag like that doesn't bother him at all. He probably just drank a Diet Coke and walked away. But man, it sucked. I can't believe that kind of stuff happens, but I wanted to get that out there. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I'm not a big news podcast, but that's something I wanted to touch base on for sure. But other than that, how things going with you? How's work?
Oh, it's just amazing.
I don't believe that.
Sarcasm.
Right. Let's say the past couple nights you've been pretty snippy.
It's been rough with being short on leadership and there just being two people.
Right.
And this is the second time this year that I've had to deal with a situation where I'm only one of two managers in the store.
Right. I know it's rough because you're pretty much a video game wife because you came home and just took that shit out on everybody in the party. I'm like, why is he being a dick?
Yep.
Oh, that sucks to hear, man. Speaking of video games, though, UFC 4.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have been playing the UFC games at least to the second one. UFC, EA Sports UFC 2.
Yeah.
That's when you and I started playing against each other. We would match up online, fight, and everything. UFC 3, we ended up playing
almost 600 games, I think.
Almost 600 matches against each other.
Yeah.
That's not counting doing the career modes and whatever else we did when we were hanging out together even. But UFC 4, I'm only probably a couple hours into it, and it's everything that it needed to be. It's a step in the right direction in a lot of ways. There's a couple things I've written down that like suck.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that, but like I really enjoy everything from the soundtrack to the way that like the new mechanics feel for punches and kicks.
Mm-hmm.
I even like the whole new just ambiance of it, the menu and everything. They did a real good job.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But one of the things I don't like though is the new clinch system, which if anyone that plays the game, it's a specific button combination that used to be a big punch is now a clinch where you grab them and you wrap up. I hate that.
What was the clinch on the previous game?
Just towards the opponent with the right stick. Just
okay. Because I'm actually starting to I'm starting to like the clinch a little bit better because now I'm understanding it more. Right. The ground game, on the other hand, can go fuck itself in a gopher hole.
Well, if you're a mixed martial arts fan, you might like the ground game. You and I, 98% of the time, play stand and bang. We just like to stand up, basically kickboxing matches. Yeah. We don't do the MMA too often. When it comes to what they've done good, I think, is they fix the submission to where it's not as like I'm not as scared when I'm down.
Oh yeah, I don't get locked into one and think, oh, the match.
Yeah, it's immediately over. In UFC 3, there was no leaving a submission. You were done.
Yep.
This one is a lot easier to get out of. The only problem is you cannot get off the ground. If you got somebody that you're going against that knows what they're doing, you're stuck. You're done.
For the most part. Because the default system is the new system, which is the left stick, which is the simplified. Right. Like I told you before, you can change it back to, I believe it's called Legacy, to where you have more intricate control over like going to side mount, sprawl, top down, stuff like that. I finally put it on hybrid, and it seems like hybrid makes it a bit easier to get up, get out of the situation, or even, turn the tides to better suit me.
Okay.
Because you can actually use the left and right stick.
I'll have to give that a try. That would confuse the hell out of me, left and right stick.
I typically it just has, like, it doesn't have both.
Right.
Like on the heads-up display. It's just the right stick that it shows. But it also seems like the circle bar goes quicker.
Okay.
It just seems like it's a bit more intuitive.
It's definitely worth a shot compared to what we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I think kind of sucks is this, at least it feels like there's a lot more knockdowns in this. Like, I feel like I could get knocked down a good 25 times before I have to start worrying about getting knocked out.
Yeah, that is, I know one of the discrepancies that people were talking about for the beta was the stamina. To where it just seems like you were not losing stamina. Your opponent was not losing stamina. You were just a sponge, which I enjoyed. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like getting the flash knockout, a minute into the match. But at the same time, I kind of want it to be a bit more competitive. So the knockouts add a little bit of drama to it.
Right. The realism comes from the actual hits. It feels like you're actually sticking them. The thing is, if you're going for an overhand and I just square kick you right in the face, you're not going to just stumble back. I'm sorry. That's what's giving it that more arcade feeling. And I know it's a game, so you can't just, but I think it has to be tweaked a little bit more. It's too much. And at the same time, it's just the style of falling down really annoys me, if that makes sense. It looks very acted out. It should be ragdoll effect.
Yeah, I feel like 3 had a bit better as far as the knockdown animations. I know they
Right.
implemented a new system as far as like I think the hits connecting or something to where it's a bit more fluid and lifelike.
Oh, okay.
But I
Yeah,
haven't seen anything too outlandish.
UFC 2 had ragdoll effect.
Hmm.
So if you were coming in and you got caught with a right, your body was spinning the right way. Where
Yep.
instead of you get caught with a right and you drop to a knee and then you fall over like, oh my god. So it just I heard it coming. You were about to let that one loose. The online play though feels a lot smoother this year than it did last year. I actually think I might jump into more online play than just against you like I normally do. I
Yep.
might actually play some because the creation mode in this
Mhm.
one, mwah, magnifique.
Chef's
Bec-
kiss.
yeah, the past couple of years it's been very UFC. It's just nope. This is what you can do. Exactly what they do in the UFC. This one, my dude's wearing unicorn shirts that like sparkle and move, and you got a big cobra head on your guy, and it's like
Sparkle.
right. It's just it's a trip, and it makes that part a lot of fun. If I want the realism, I'll go to my career and I'll use my character and do
Yep.
stuff like that. Two of the new additions are the backyard mode and the Kumite also.
Hmm.
Nothing real big. It's basically just two arenas. Kumite adds on a new announcer and like a little bit of music.
Yeah, very
Backyard,
arcadey on that one. Some old
yeah.
school Mortal Kombat feel.
Backyard is more of it doesn't really change anything ambiance wise. It's just in the backyard.
Yeah, it's just an arena.
So, but overall, I think it's a well put together game. I think it's EA Sports always does great with their UFC. Right up until almost, let's say this game came out Friday, we played UFC 3 on Thursday, and there was a fighter update then. So like
Yeah, still on 3.
they were always killing it when they updated. Look, sometimes they added people in the roster and just
Hmm. There were, I mean, we did so many fights. There were a handful of times that where we would just hit random. We would be like, "Well, who's this person? I've
yeah,
never seen him
I've
before."
never seen that person before. Yeah, and so that's something I think other studios, especially 2K, can look at and realize they need to take up after that big time.
Hmm. I think another mode, if you really want to test yourself online, is the Blitz battle. Because
What's
if
that?
I read it correctly, it changes the rules of every fight. Like I think it might lock the weight, and I don't know. I played one match and I immediately lost, and I was like, all right, well, that was fun
Wow.
because I feel like it's a like a ladder system, almost like a tower mode.
Okay. Yeah, the tower mode made popular usually by Mortal Kombat games.
Yep.
All right. Any news on a new one of those? I know that one's only like what, you 2 years old, year old,
Not even.
11.
Um, I know they just released. I don't even think they've done their even announced a second combat pack. I'm going to assume there's going to be a second one because they already had. I think the last one was Spawn or Joker.
Right.
It was one of
All
those.
right.
Oh no, they had RoboCop.
Unfortunately, both Mortal Kombat and like the Injustice series, great games. But for me, as soon as I beat the story, I'm done. I don't I don't play arcade mode. I don't jump on line to play because I will get destroyed, and it's just not fun.
For me, I typically will try to grind out the achievements depending on what they are. I think I got
Right.
most of them on Injustice, most of them on Mortal Kombat. But yeah, online I will not. The only competitive game that I will typically play online, obviously Siege, and then Rocket League. That's
Right.
really about it because I know I'm not gonna be able to pull my weight in any other fucking thing.
It's funny that you say competitive in Siege because we started playing casual recently because you don't like ranked, and you're like, I like casual better. There's not much weight on my shoulders. I don't get as angry.
Well, I mean, I
Bullshit,
can play.
dude.
I don't play
The
competitive
past
on
couple
Rocket League
nights you've been
anymore,
getting
but
so mad
oh
at
yeah, I've been
Rocket
getting
or
just
Siege.
fucking shit in the bed every time.
But you get mad at stuff that I want to smack you for because like I should have got that kill. I'm like, you got a pistol and he's got an assault rifle. Yeah, you lost that battle. Sorry, homie.
Yes, but I should have got the kill regardless because it's me.
No, no, that's not how it works.
Sure it does.
You dumbass. Speaking of Siege, though, we got a lot of news coming up for the next season. This past season, we got two of the best operators out of the gate. There's been operators that have been dropped that became good, but both Malusi and Ace were absolutely great from drop, I think.
Yeah, but you didn't like Malusi when she came out, right?
No, I did. I just didn't get to use her.
Oh, that was
Because
it.
two things were happening. Somebody was picking her or they were banning her. And I just recently started to get to use her.
Yep.
So, but this season coming up, they're only dropping one operator. It's an attacker, and that's Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series, and that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
We knew that there was a Splinter Cell type agent that was possibly being introduced. And it turned out that it's just flat out Sam Fisher, and what's his name? Zero, right?
Zero.
That's
the rumored name was Scout.
Right.
And I guess with his gadget being the essentially the optic snake that he has in the games, I didn't even think about that when I was reading about it and when you were telling me about it. But apparently everybody was like, that's Sam.
Yeah. And it's not like it's kind of, I'm trying to compare it almost like a mix between Valkyrie, I would say Doc, and maybe I can't even think of anyone, because like it's a gun but with a camera. It's not like you have to go up and put the camera somewhere. He can shoot the gun at soft surfaces, reinforced surfaces, any surface, and it'll do something.
Okay, well, I guess you would think of it more like a Valk and a Maverick if it burrows through.
It does burrow through. So maybe Callie, her gadget burrows. Yeah. But that's the thing, is like a soft wall and a reinforced wall, it burrows through. Obviously, if the reinforced is muted or bandit, it'll bust. But if you shoot it against a cement wall that's not reinforced or soft, it sticks like a Valk and shoots towards you instead. So you can put it on any surface anywhere.
Oh, see, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, which I think makes him immensely dangerous for attackers.
Definitely, because I wanted to like Ace. I wanted to play as him, and then I was like, no, just not my play style.
That's what we covered last time, is you're too much of a lone traveler to play as somebody who's relying on the other team. That's why I think somebody who has cameras that you don't have to do that for us. You can just pop them up and we can go look at them.
Right.
That's perfect. That's why I almost thought
spots though.
Probably. But that's why I almost thought you would have been good with Valkyrie back in the day, but turns out you're good with Legion. So
yeah, well, I played Valk a little bit, and I think I tried hopping on her way too early as far as me. Like, I don't know the maps now. I couldn't put cameras anywhere now.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I just don't pay attention. The only one that I was ever actually decently good was Doc. Just because I would put that like opposite of where I was, and I would just step out and be a bitch about it.
I have noticed that you've left the objective a lot more recently, even though you might not go far, but you're leaving a lot more. And I don't know if that's working out as much for you.
It's not. But I figured that I'm doing okay with Legion as far as the pistol goes, but you just get bored when you're just camping objective and
it's true.
Everybody else is running out and getting the kills. And you know me. I got to get me some kills.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's horrible.
And then you get mad when I play objective and plant and do all this other stuff, and I'm above you in the leaderboard with 0 kills because I play objective.
Those plants. I am not. I get way too paranoid that I'm going to fuck up.
Right.
That's why I'll plant when I'm told to plant. If I somehow get stuck with the bomb, typically in casual, because that just is forced upon you.
Right. Yeah. We also have this season coming up, the Tachanka rework. Now, for those who don't know what the Lord's getting, he no longer sets that gun up. He runs with it. Plus, you got an added sidearm that's a freaking incendiary launcher. As if the defense doesn't have enough already, And knowing my luck, they're going to let him put a fucking ACOG on that gun.
No. I can see it now, just lighting somebody on fire, and then Oryx barrels right through him.
That'd be brutal. Knocking him down so Cav can come interrogate him. Oh,
that's a 3-stack right there.
Oh, it's just not fair. There's one of the YouTube channels I like to watch, Red Arcade. They do a lot of like the Siege compilations, normally fails and stuff. But there was one where the dude jumped over a Goyo, landed in a frost trap that had 2 lesions on it, and they just watched him there for a while and then shot the Goyo. I'm like, rude.
That's a barbecue.
Like you're going nowhere. Nobody's coming to save you.
You pissed somebody off.
that was specifically set for you. You jump into a frost with 2 lesions on it.
That also sounds like it's something I would do.
I would love it, but at the same time, we can never do things like that because as far as Bliss and I go, we switch too much for defenders.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like specific maps. Like if we're on Consulate, I feel like he and I need to be doing Frost and Cav, or on Bank. When it comes to like something, it depends on just situations what I'm needed for, and it would be awesome to have a team that sticks with like a Legion, a Frost, a Valkyrie, and maybe a Doc or a Rook. But we do have a Capcan now, though.
I hate him.
It's a strong word. But
no, because the only thing I have an issue with when he puts the Capcan up, if I drop a door, that's going to destroy the Capcan, right?
No.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, shit. Well, I need to pay attention then. Because I keep leaving doorways open because he put a Capcan in front of me, and I didn't want to bust it. For some reason, I thought it busted it when I was
That's something you could have asked 2 nights ago.
I didn't think about it. No, it just didn't happen 2 nights ago. That was last night.
Anyway, our newest member of Team Ice, luckily, and that's Dalton, who was just on last week's podcast. That's my girlfriend's brother, and we were trying to think of his gamer tag for a minute because when I told, I don't even know if you're in the party. You were in the party. You might have been in the bathroom or something. But I told Bliss that we needed him to change the gamer tags as part of the team. And Bliss said it has to be something to do with that pretty smile it is. And so the first one we came up was Hollywood and Hollywood Ice. And we're like, that'd be pretty cool. And then somehow that's taken. But of course, he went through so many things. Yeah. We don't need him running around getting called Pearl, though. Like,
I don't give a fuck what he gets called. I don't think he wants to be called Pearl.
It's true. But he ended up going with Auburn Ice, which is the university he attends. So it fits well. But he started playing with us just last week. It's been a week. Better than I thought. Like, I expected him to literally be anchoring the scoreboard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is, just because obviously we never played with him. But no, he's been doing really good. I know, 2 nights ago he was bragging that he had 6 kills, and I was like, I'm not playing with you.
Yeah, he's definitely holding his own, and I'm glad that he enjoys playing it, and we have a good 4-stack now to where we don't have to worry as much about toxic people, because that's one of the most toxic games I've ever been a part of when it comes to its community.
Yeah, that's because you get the brunt of it.
Why, though? Like, literally. It doesn't even matter.
Names.
No, it's not even that, because was it a week ago or whatever? I was watching my buddy's house, so I jumped on his Xbox under his gamer tag. I still got shit on by teammates, and I'm like, Bliss can be in the middle of arguing with somebody. They'll turn around and shoot me. And I'm like,
yep.
What? So, I don't know.
100% true. And it's 100% funny every single time.
It's not.
Because you immediately go mute, and I'm like, he's pissed off.
That's my go-to. If I just mute it, I'm like, you know what? I need a second. Because I don't even team go back anymore. I'm just like, fuck it. Like,
that's because now we're in casual.
Yeah, it's just not as big of a deal. Which I still don't get. Why you gotta be a dick in casual?
Because it's casual. They can get away with it without catching a ban.
Guess that report, though. That's what Blitz is good at.
Motherfuckers like doing that shit.
But trying to think, the next season's also bringing the rework of Skyscraper, which was the Asian map, has the helipad on it.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, are they going to pull that back in?
I don't know if they're putting it back in ranked or not. I would love them to. I think ranked is getting very stale on the maps.
Yep.
One of the main reasons I like playing casual now is because you get different maps to go with it. Even though I hate house, can't stand it.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that one come up on the ones we've been doing casual.
What?
Skyscraper. I don't know when the last time I played that was.
I don't know. It's not in right now. Neither they just took Favela out a couple days ago.
I didn't know about that. Really?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
right? That's one of my favorite maps to attack. Hate defending.
That one's fucking. I
It's a
love that
lot of
one.
fun to
That's
attack,
a hard breacher's wet dream.
right? Just so many walls to blow up and just get through. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
One of the I actually mentioned this the other night. One of the lead developers of the game said that this season is one of the most meta-changing seasons in the history of the game. So I don't know what that entails, what they're changing.
I'm sure it's going to have to do something with Sam.
Well, for sure that, but I mean, I think they're implementing something big other than just like the operator.
TDM.
There's two things I think that could help. One would be team deathmatch mode. It would get a lot of those little Call of Duty assholes out of the game. And I say that knowing like my cousin and one of my best friends play Call of Duty. It's not really towards you guys.
It absolutely is.
No, it's towards all these little squeakers who are 9, 10 years old that shouldn't even be playing the game, that want to just run around and kill people. Go play Call of Duty, go play Fortnite, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, but what you need to realize is if they pull a TDM into Siege, that's going to invite the Call of Duty players in because they will now
go
have
to TDM though.
But they may try to play the objective-based shit.
I don't know. I feel if we play objective base and stick objective base, we should be fine. But then you get Blitz is so easily triggered against them to where it's like, no, I got to go kill them. It's like, no, dude, stop.
Yep.
But then he usually ends up going and killing all of them. But still, yeah. So I don't know what to. It's either TDM that I think would fix, or to release a separate server for pro players. Kind of to just get that out of the main game, because whenever they make changes for Siege, like Goyo getting nerfed and losing one of his shields, it's because the pro players complain. It's like,
right,
come on, man. Like,
yeah, it's not a pro only game.
Exactly, but it's one of the biggest pro games.
Yeah, I mean it's taken it for them to initially state this game's going to be 10 years.
Right.
For them to have that kind of confidence, they knew what they were doing. They may not have been completely confident in it, but for them to just balls out, this is going to be a 10-year game. We're going to support this game for 10 years across what? Three generations? Yeah.
No, it wasn't on 360, was it?
I don't remember. I was just blanking on that.
I think it started because it was right when I got the one.
Yeah, they might have been
that day. I think you actually came over. You got it through Redbox, and we started up, and we were like, "This is stupid," and we just left.
Yeah,
and
because we were playing on house.
Yeah, and here we are now, fucking almost every night, but can't get enough of it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
no matter how much it pisses me off, I still go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to a little thing that I had an idea with us, and I had to do it with you because you're the only other person I know that watches YouTube as much as I do. I don't even watch TV. It's YouTube or HBO Max at this point. If I'm on HBO Max, it's to watch Big Bang Theory. So that's my life when it comes to entertainment. When I think of YouTube, the first things I remember were like the Evolution of Dance video and Charlie Bit My Finger and
Chocolate Rain
and remember what's his name? He dressed as a girl. He did the shoes, like music video shoes.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
God, no.
Yeah. That's like early YouTube, and I remember that. And I would use YouTube every now and then to look something up, but I was never like a YouTube watcher. Almost pretty much until you introduced me to a specific channel, and then from then on I've been just all about YouTube. So
you're welcome.
I thought it'd be fun with you to kind of list our top 5 all-time favorite YouTube channels that we follow. And it doesn't have to, that doesn't mean that like everything they put out we're going to watch, but it's our top 5. And I know this podcast has turned into a lot of like top 5s and recasting and stuff, but I mean, got a better idea? Fucking mention
Watch
it.
Mojo.
So right. So you want to talk about something else? Get on the podcast. Everyone's been invited. Just do it. So I got mine listed 5 to 1. I'll read one off one by one. Talk about why we like it. Discuss a little bit. You want to start?
Yeah. Now mine was difficult because, like I said, I just did mine today, and when I actually pulled up my subscription list, I didn't realize the fucking hole I was going down Like there were,
2,500 pages.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. There was a lot more than I realized, but then there was these like obscure ones that I remember watching for one reason or another and just completely forgetting that they existed and remembering, oh yeah, I remember the video that I subscribed to you for or whatever.
Yep.
It was just, ugh. So I have a top 5 and then I have like 3 honorable mentions just because I probably could have made a top 10 list, but
I could probably do it 3 honorable while you're talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So my number 5 is a relatively new one. It's Unis Annus from Markiplier and Ethan. Simply just because it's such a unique idea where they're doing a video a day for a whole year and then deleting the channel.
Yeah.
And they're not typical videos.
No, they've done gaming videos like Mark normally does, but they've also like gone and done like an obstacle course, or they got pepper sprayed once. And I'm not subscribed to Markiplier, but I am subscribed to Unis Annus because there's just something about their chemistry that's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one that got you in? Do you remember?
Oh no! As soon as I saw the trailer for it and just the seriousness, just because you look at Mark and you look at Ethan and they can be serious, but their core is just silly, goofy, dumb shit. And just to see the trailer for it and then being all like legit in suits and shit, I was like, oh, I'm gonna check this out. And I checked the first video out, whatever it was, and I was like, I'll go ahead and watch this.
Okay. Yeah, I think the first one I actually remember seeing, where they did a military obstacle course with the makeup dude. No, the other one.
Wait, no, it's James Charles.
James Charles, that's it. Yeah. So that's the last one I remember. James Charles is funny as hell, dude. So funny. That's the one I saw where I was like, all right, I'll subscribe to him, and I watched them get pepper sprayed and a handful of other things.
That sucks.
Yep. Is that your number 5?
Yep.
My number 5 is How Ridiculous. This is the 3 guys based out of Australia that became known for dropping shit off of a big tower. And yeah, Kenzie and I would watch it all the time. They're super like hype, always ready to go, super loud, but they're very entertaining. And it's just cool to see things like do that. What the fuck are you doing?
I just remembered a fourth. I'm looking for a pen. So just remind me. A fourth fucking
Here.
Fuck you.
A fourth honorable mention?
Yeah.
Jesus
For
Christ,
whatever reason, I know exactly why it popped into my head. Because you said Australia, but that has nothing to do with anything. So I'm gonna make a note. You don't understand how the brain works.
I don't, dude. Your brain doesn't.
Seriously don't.
Anyway, like these guys they go to this little science center out in Australia, and they go to the top of a tower and they just drop stuff, and they drop like a giant dart through bulletproof glass and stuff like that. They've dropped a car on a giant axe blade. Mm-hmm. But they're just super entertaining, and 9 times out of 10 they put something out, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those niche channels, just like the
kind of like Dude Perfect.
That, and what was the hydraulic press?
Yeah, well,
just they're dropping shit off of something high.
Yeah, they actually started doing like trick shot stuff like with darts and stuff, which is actually funny
to go around the curve and see if they hit the bullseye. Yep. I actually forgot they did that. All right. My number 4, this is one that 9 times out of 10, I'm going to watch the video.
Right.
And it's Hembo Hero, who does the Rooster Teeth compilations.
Yep.
As far as how do words good, cut short. I think he's done a couple of out of context ones, I believe.
Yeah.
But
there's only a handful of those, though.
Yeah. Just because I know if I'm working too much in a week and I can't catch up on, every TTT or every podcast or whatever, I can kind of, or I may not know if I want to watch it. I'll go ahead and see that and be like, I'll check it out for, whatever bit.
Right. No, I agree. Hembo is one of my favorite. I don't have him in my top 5, but he's one of my favorite channels because you don't get to catch up on everything that Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter does, and he does it for free. He doesn't work for them. He just puts together compilations because he's a big fan, and as a fan of Rooster Teeth, I appreciate it.
Yeah, he does it just because he enjoys it, which, I mean, shit. And the amount of time that takes.
Dude, I edit an hour-long podcast with maybe one video and 2 pictures sometimes, and that takes me like 2 hours just because I'm dumb. So I can't imagine how long it takes him. That's a good one though. So number 4 for me is Dead Meat. And Dead Meat is a horror genre channel that's hosted by James A. Janice, and he basically, what he's known for mainly is the Kill Count. That's a series where he goes through a horror film, kind of watches it, little clips here and there of the deaths, and does a kill tally and how many. I think the Belko Experience was number 1 for the longest time. Then one of the Purge movies took over, and he goes through. He'll watch the movie before the video and count every death he sees on camera, and it's just I'll tell you what, I love horror as it is. Horror is one of my favorite genres when it comes to movies. It's James that makes that channel so good. He's so entertaining. Yeah. He's so good on the camera, and just incredible to watch. When he's on the screen, he's captivating, and he makes it interesting and points out little things about the movie you might not know. And it was because of him that, like, I never saw the Purge movies until I saw his kill count on them, and I was like, I got to watch that series.
Yep. So what happens at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, title card. There it is. That's become a thing for him, and he doesn't have a shirt yet, because if he did, I'd be wearing it. That would be the best thing ever. That's my number 4.
My number 3 just happens to be Dead Meat.
There it is. I figured that was one of your picks. There was 2 that I thought I knew you'd have, that one and another one. So
again, I was scrolling through my subscriptions, and I was like, yeah, that'll make the cut.
Yep. Not much else to say about Dead Meat, so sorry I took your thunder on that. Number 3 for me is, it's actually called Active Self-Protection. This is a guy that he's a trainer for self-protection. He's a firearms trainer, and he goes through clips that he either finds or is sent of just like CCTV footage of robberies or something like that you can learn lessons from, whether it be as a defender, as a carrier, and stuff like that. And I don't know, there's not much else to say about it. It's just, I've always enjoyed that channel. Anytime something comes out, I watch it. I can't say I've personally like watched it and learned anything from it, but I don't think I look for it for that. So
yeah, it's more of the experience and what kind of knowledge he can. Because I've seen a handful of the videos, it's always popped up in my my recommended. I've never searched it out actively, but it's not bad.
Right. Yeah. No, I've always enjoyed it. So that's my 3.
My 2 is Daily Dose of Internet. Just because you've never seen that one?
No.
Oh man, we need to complete your life. It's basically just clips, but they're always like, I don't want to say satisfying, they're just interesting. One of them that I just remember seeing a thumbnail, and the thing is, the big thing for him is the thumbnail is always something weird, but it's never clickbait. It is always the first video you see.
Really? There was thumbnail?
Yep. Okay. Like one that I remember was something about a turtle, but it looked like it didn't have a shell, and it just had this long ass giraffe neck. I didn't ask to see it; it just happened to be in front of my face, so my eyes were like, "Look at this."
It's creepy.
It's 100%, but it's just good videos, and I follow him on Instagram too. It's just an interesting one. I think if you watch it, you'll be like, "Okay, this is cool."
I'm gonna have to look it up. Number 2 for me is Slow Mo Guys. They've been around for a long time. The title says it, what they are. It's 2 guys, Gavin and Dan. They do things in slow motion, and Gavin's very well versed in those cameras. He's worked on movies like Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., stuff like that. So he knows what he's doing. He owns a bunch of high quality Phantom cameras, and they just do weird things, but it's just cool to see how it happens in slow motion, and it's very entertaining. They're 2 British dudes breaking stuff, and Dan always gets hurt, so it's hilarious.
What's your favorite slow-mo guy video?
My favorite slow-mo guy video, I fucking had a feeling you might ask that. There's a couple. I really enjoyed the one they did with Rhett and Link, where they popped the champagne.
The corks. That was fucking great.
Because Gavin got the cleanest until Dan actually hit the damn cork and not the bottle. Spoiler alert. But it was absolutely I just loved it. Probably aside from that, it would be maybe the big balloon that Dan sat in and then filled up with water. That one was great.
That was
And
hilarious.
just seeing the ripple of the balloon pop and
The water
stuff
keeping the form for a second.
yeah.
I think my favorite one was them breaking the CDs.
That was good.
Just because that was just visually, that was just great.
Yeah. Anything they do with like paint or something like that also is always good. Or as Gavin likes to call the sheen. He likes getting water to see the sheen and stuff. One of the things I actually I learned, I think it was on one of the back behind the scenes parts of it, but they did a slow-mo of Dan getting his legs waxed.
Oh!
And in the slow-mo, you hear like the motion, and then you'll see the hairs, and you'll hear the thump, thump. Funny enough, Gavin actually goes in and adds each sound himself, making a noise and just dubbing it to where it sounds like that. And that goes for like a bunch of other kind of sounds they do. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, because that takes some time.
Yeah, if you know who Gavin Free is from what he does in other times, he comes off as a very big goof, but the dude's incredibly intelligent. And so it's cool to see him on that channel. So that's 5 through 2. Go ahead and give me your honorable mentions.
ERB, Epic Rap Battles of History, simply because they'd be higher, obviously, if COVID wasn't happening. Because obviously they'd be pumping out videos. So I didn't really want to put them in there. Smosh and Game Grumps. And then the one that I thought of was the Merkins.
Why do I know that? Well, you just made me watch something from that.
Slash
is that that dumb shit? I will tell you,
it's
though,
amazing.
It's kind of like it's the best one I saw was they took the Night King from Game of Thrones and did I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. That was amazing. I enjoyed that a lot. I also have ERB on my honorable mentions. I have Fail Army, which would be higher, but they stopped doing the videos like they used to. Yesterworld, which it's actually a dude that tells you like a lot of history about theme parks, like Disney, Universal and stuff. And he shows you like old pictures and the history behind it and stuff. It's always been entertaining for me.
I haven't heard of.
Hembo and like Alley, people who do Rooster Teeth compilations. That's another one. And then Get Flanked is on my honorable mentions, who's Rainbow Six Siege creator.
Yeah, I was going to put Marley on there too.
Right. So what you got for number 1?
That's going to be Achievement Hunter, Rooster Teeth, and Let's Play, since that's all one company.
Me too. That is my number 1. And anybody that knows me knows how, I guess anybody that actually knows me knows how well, that's been an impact on my life for certain things. When I went through a certain situation with somebody and I was real down, that's kind of when I started watching them more and more. And it's just Rooster Teeth as a company is incredible with what they do. With I know they've had their issues with certain things in the past, but you look at what they do with Extra Life every year. They donate millions of dollars to a children's hospital every year, and that's just from the community helping on a 12-hour stream. And you've got people like Jack Patillo, who's there almost that whole 12 hours.
Yep.
Him and his wife, Katie, and it's incredible to watch. You got their side ones like Let's Play and Achievement Hunter, which are gaming related, and it's just pure entertainment from beginning to end. And for me, I remember in high school hearing about Red versus Blue, and that's the show that Rooster Teeth came out with by using the game Halo on the original Xbox. And I didn't care about it. I didn't play Halo. I didn't give a damn about it. And I don't think I watched any Rooster Teeth or Achievement Hunter until, when did we meet? 6 years ago? 7 years ago?
2013.
So, yeah, 7, almost 8 years ago, when we were playing a game and you made me watch 10 Little Roosters.
Mm-hmm.
It was either that or Edgar's in the Hole. One of those two is the first one you made me watch. And even if it was Edgar's in the Hole, it would have been on Hembo's channel. But
Yeah.
it was one of those two that you made me watch, and I was freaking stuck. I mean, I've probably surpassed you in the amount of fandom I have for that company.
100%.
To the point where I'm a first member. I have a lot of their merchandise that I like to wear, especially the Jeff collection. And my daughter, 8 years old, she loves watching it. Probably shouldn't, but who cares?
Probably shouldn't. No.
She loves it. I asked her the other day. I said, if you ever had a chance to meet any of them, who'd you want to meet? And she said Lindsay and Jeremy. I was like, you got a crooked mind, girl. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's her go-to is Lindsay and Jeremy. But I love it.
I enjoy him just because I think the first one that really got me into it, just like a lot of people, was Rage Quit. And I enjoy it just because of the pure chaos.
Right.
Just because I enjoy it so much that when shit goes wrong, they just lean right into it.
Rage Quit is 100% just Michael.
Yeah.
Like that was his shtick. That's how he got started with the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed older shows like Versus and Go. Go I liked a lot. I wish they would bring that back, but I understand.
Yeah.
Some things fall flat, but I mean, they've always done like every Friday they're going to release a Minecraft video, which I'll watch probably 50% of those. Just it depends on what they're doing in it, and I don't even watch it for the game. I watch it for them because
the interactions. Yeah.
But like for the past year, they've been so into Gmod, and I've been enjoying every single video. And them doing the Gmod is actually what made me become such a big fan of Fiona, because her interactions with Gavin are freaking platinum. Just amazing interactions. So funny, the two of them when they're together.
They play very well off each other.
Yeah, they're almost just as good as if not better than Jeremy and Lindsay, the way they play off each other. If Jeremy and Lindsay are in the same game, on the same level of that day, where they're both just feeling like being a dick, the rest of the group's in trouble. Like,
it's hard to get on Lindsay's level.
Right?
Like, a lot of people give her shit. She's not good at games. Whatever. She's fucking insane.
She is so insane.
She's fucking crazy, and I love it.
Yeah. The best way to describe her is during the one video game where they were racing, and the whole point of the race was Lindsay has to win.
That was the name of the time.
Lindsay wins. She has to come in first, and they're coming up to the finish line. She goes, "Jeremy, you with me?" He goes, "Yeah." And she turns off. Yep. Jeremy follows, and everybody else goes right through the finish line.
She's like, "Y'all ready for this?"
They were mad, but that also shows like Jeremy was like, "Yeah, I know what you're doing. I was there. I get it."
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even people like Ryan Haywood, who's a part of it, I remember not liking him at first for some reason, but now he's probably my favorite.
Yeah, he's also fucking insane, but like legitimately insane.
And Mad King, yep. Don't understand. Edgar's the one in the hole. So, but they've always been just pure entertainment. And from not the Achievement side, but the Rooster Teeth side, you have the game shows they do, and like a lot of the original content they put out that's hilarious, and their podcasts are the RT podcast is what made me want to do my own. And it's just every time they come out with something new, I enjoy it just about. They just did that competition, the mini golf competition. That was hilarious.
Hardcore mini golf, yep.
Hardcore mini golf. They did a laughing competition where they were stuck in a room for 12 hours, and if you laughed, you were out. And I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yep. It's a good alternative.
So that's a good. I expected ERB to be on your list. I honestly didn't expect Rooster Teeth to be on your list.
I put it on there because aside from ERB, that's my longest running channel that I still watch to this day. I actually thought my list was going to be a bit more game centric. Like I figured I was going to put Markiplier on there as a gaming channel and Jack Septiceye. But I really only have one gamer. I mean, I guess you can consider Hembo gaming, but since his is just a compilation of other games, I really don't count it.
Right.
So
no, I mean, surprised me. You don't watch as much YouTube as it is anymore, though, unless I'm on, you know?
Oh, no, literally on my days off, I'm typically in bed just watching YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Just because I'm that fucking lazy.
Yeah. I watch it on the Xbox. Like, if I'm home, I'm watching this motherfucker just open the bang. I'll give it to us.
Man, no, that's what I drank for the first one.
What did that taste like?
Man, that was the first one I had was Purple Haze. That's your typical grape. That ain't no problem. That
There's
like a sweet tart slapped me in the balls.
there's a guy
Rose.
there's a guy that Josh and I watch that does bang videos, and he does it as like two characters. And when he drinks, he's like, that tastes like if Jesus had sex with a toaster strudel. Like fucking crap. What?
I'm not sure what this is. Sour as fuck though. Like, I'm gonna start drooling here in a second. Not good.
That would be amazing. I need to keep you on for that. Let's what we got.
I just got to keep drinking it though.
Just got to get the drool. So we're actually gonna cut out here. We're about at 52. Kind of keeping the podcast short lately. There's not a lot of news going on. I'm not going to cover any more COVID stuff. I mean, it's overplayed, and I normally don't cover news aside from earlier in the podcast. I talked about Cannon, but that's something that needs to be talked about. So, I haven't really said this to anyone, but I'm actually emailing a lot of social media people that are kind of popular in social media, but not like huge. I'm trying to see if maybe I can start getting certain people on the podcast, talk about why they're doing that social media, why they use that platform, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed, man. It'd be awesome to get some of them on here and just kind of see why they use that platform. What are they going to do if that platform folds, and see where I can go from there. But if anybody else is interested, please let me know. I'd love to have you guys on. If you just want to get on, talk shit about me, talk shit about the podcast, talk shit about Josh. I don't care. Just get on.
Get the fuck off the podcast. You trying to talk shit about me? I ain't do nothing, man.
But no, I mean, I welcome anybody. I want to use this platform for you guys to get your voice out there. And if you're the one that wants to talk, I'll just sit back and let you go. So that's about it. But thanks again for joining, guys. I appreciate it. Josh, thanks again, bro, for being on.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm sure I'll talk to you in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Yeah.
2-3 minutes how we load up the Xbox. But later on.
Yeah.